Hello, I welcome you all to this introduction to Scilab. So this complete course is divided into three sections. So in first section we will be looking into the brief history of Scilab, then its graphical user interface, and third will be the mathematical operations, how to perform addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. So the Scilab, the working of Scilab is almost similar to the MATLAB. We will see how these operations are done in Scilab, and then in second section we will be seeing how to calculate the areas of various objects like square, rectangle, triangle, and a circle. And in third section we will be the modeling of the aerodynamic force, rolling force, gradient force, and the acceleration force. So these are all the forces which will be required to move the vehicle. So as we move further in the section, the complexity increases. Let's begin. Scilab is a numerically programmed and graphical environment available for free from INRIA. It's a National Institute for Research in Computer Science and Automation. It's similar in operations to MATLAB Simulink. So in Scilab you get Xcos, whereas in MATLAB you get Simulink for doing simulation and other existing numerical graphical environments like GNU Active, and it can be run using a variety of operating systems including Mac, Windows, and Linux. Scilab has a 50 years of long history. It started in 80s. First Scilab kernel is the free MATLAB that you get over there in 1980s. Then after that, INRIA is a French research institute for computer science. INRIA works closely with industry and has assisted in creation of over 160 startups, and Scilab was one of them. So in 1990 to 2003, with the help of INRIA, the Scilab was distributed freely online for researchers to use. Then from 2003 to 2012, the Scilab has created a group where they were developing the Scilab as its gained momentum. So they created a group with Dassault Aviation and many other companies. So after that, till 2012 to 2017, they started the Scilab Enterprises, and in 2017, the ESI group just bought the Scilab, and it is currently maintained and distributed by ESI group. So these are the some of the companies that uses Scilab software like Airbus Group, then ArcelorMittal, then Sanofi, then EDF, Total, General Energy, and many more companies that use this software in their working. So we will just go to the website. This is the website for scilab.org, where we will get all the required information for Scilab. So over here you can just download the software. So it's open source software. So you don't need to pay anything for this. Whereas if you go for the MATLAB, it's just provide you something like a 30 days trial version, and after that you have to buy it. Whereas the Scilab is completely free and it's open source. If you are a developer, you can also create and add a code of your own to it. So it's a best for numerical computation. 6.1.0 is the latest version. So these are the some of the previous version of Scilabs that we use. These are the some of the companies that we have seen earlier in the slides. Then to download the software, so you can just download it from over here also, or you can just go to this download tabs for downloading the software. From this you have to select whether you are using Windows, Linux, or Mac operating system, and then select your bits, whether your machine is a 64-bit machine or 30-bit version. So depending upon that, just download this exe file, executable file. So it will be somewhere around 250 MB to 275 MB. Just download that file and install it. So we will just see the website. So this is what, so there are tutorials are also present over there of various how to use this software and all. Then these are the some of the industries where the Scilab is used, like aerospace, automotive, energy and metallurgy and mining, pharmaceutical and medicals, and research and education. So just if you want to know this in detail, you can just visit one of them and just read these articles. Then it's also used in data analytics, embedded and control systems, like, and many other services. So these are the first Scilab. Then Xcos is similar to what you get in MATLAB Simulink. Here you can do various simulation. We will see that in upcoming sessions how to use this Xcos for a simulation purpose. So if you want to know about the how it is created and all, you can get this in about section. So Scilab also holds various conferences. If you go for the tweets, you will get what are the various types of conference they have, or any new development that's happening in this. So they just post it on their Twitter feed. So we will see the user interface of when you download the file and install it. So just open the software. So this is the user interface of Scilab. So we will just explain each and every part. On the left hand side you will get this file browsers. It's set you the current working directory. So from this left hand side you have to select in which working directory you want to work. From this the files will be accessible in the software. Then the middle portion is the Scilab console where you do all the programming. Then on right hand side is the variable browser. So variable browser is that if you create any variable, so let's suppose if I create a x variable with having a value 5, so this variable gets automatically added into the variable browser. So the more the variable you create, these all variables will be stored in this browser so that you can see which types of a variable you have created. Then next is a command history. So whatever operations that you perform in this, all that history will be saved in this tab, or you can just press the upward arrow key to get the previous command. Then next is a news feed. So if there is anything new happening in the Scilab environments, it's automatically gets posted over here. So the current thing is the Internet of Things. That's what happening in Scilab 6.1. So these are added. You can just watch the video over there by just playing it. Then next, all the normal options that you get in all softwares, like file, open, create a file, load an environment, save environment. Then you can edit, then control option, and then applications. So in applications you get two things, sign notes and Xcos. We will be seeing these two features in upcoming sessions, how to use that one. So we will see how to use this software. So for starting, we will just create normal operations like addition, multiplication, division, subtraction. So how to do that in console. Then we will see this operation in sign notes and then the Xcos. So for doing the addition of two variables, so I have already created the x variable, so I'll just create another variable named as y. So as you can see, it has automatically get stored on the right hand side, so x and y. To do the addition, you just do the normal addition and then press OK. So it will just create another variable name as a answer, or you can also create another variable like x plus y. So it will automatically create that z variable over there. So this is about our addition. The same goes for uh, subtraction. W is equal to x minus y. So I just store the value of subtraction in w variable. So if I press, that will create a w variable and you will get the answer of -1. That is create another variable. go for addition, subtraction, then go for the division. I'll just create another variable name as q, which is equal to x divided by y, so which is 0.833. Then next is your multiplication, so I'll just use e variable x star y. So for multiplication you use star button and then enter. So this way you do the normal mathematical operations in your console. Then next is your, now let's see how we perform this operation in Synods. So just go to application or click on Synods or the left icon over here. So launch Synods, you can do from here launch Synods from application Synods, or you can just type in Synods and it will automatically open this Synet windows. So here you just need to do the normal programming. It's not that much harder. So you just write x is equal to, so I'll just support. So as you can see, it's showing us a red mark because the variable is already created over there. So I'll just create another variable, t is equal to input. User is going to input the value. So I'll just enter the first value, first value, and then next variable will be t. So just input, enter the second value. So we will just do the addition of them. So just write it as I is equal to t plus u, and I will just display this. So for displaying, you just write display, enter I, what value you want to display, and give the name it as addition, and then so you will just run this code. So just on the right hand upper side there is a execute. So first you have to save that code, save and execute, or I'll just execute it. So best method is to use this save and execute button. I'll just create a new file. So try name it as a Scilab, open, and then just save this. So I'll just execute this code. So as it is automatically executed, so I just need to enter the first value. So I'll just enter first value as 5, enter second value as 6. So it will show me the addition. Same thing goes for the subtraction, division and multiplication. So again for addition, I'll just go open the previous sign out and just change the value to negative. Then again execute, save and execute. So it will again ask me for the first value. So I'll just write first value 6, and then it will show me the subtraction. Then for division, so just change this value, then again execute it. So if there is any sort, then execute it, save and execute, again enter the respective value that you want, and you get expected value. Then next is your multiplication, again save and execute. I just minimize it, then again enter the values. So this is how you do with the sign out. So we have seen how to do that in Scilab console, how to do the mathematical operation in Synods. Now we will see that in Xcos. Xcos is somewhat similar to Simulink. So these it's have this drag and drop of tabs or icons which you can perform various operations. So I'll just launch the Xcos. So first is you have to just go to this Xcos. First way to launch is this X icon over here, Xcos, or you can just go to application and select xcos, or you can just type over here xcos and then enter. It will open up the xcos window. So it will create two windows. First will be your palette browser and next is your xcos window. So over here you will get this various blocks with which you can create a required operation. So as we want to do the mathematical operations, addition, subtractions, so for this we will just select. So there are various options present over there. So we will just go to the mathematical operations. Over here you will see all the mathematical operations that you want to perform, like summation, product, square root, then power box square. Just see each and every one by one when we do this of various simulation. So first of all we will do the addition. For that we will be requiring two blocks. Go to sources and select this constant block and just press this and just drag it on the right hand side. In this again select this block and drag it on the right hand side. So this way you create the constant blocks. For editing it, just double click on that block and enter the value of the block that you want, 5, and this value to be 6. Then again if we want to perform mathematical operations like summation, so again go to mathematical operations, then if you just go downward and select summation, then again do drag and drop. So just select this block and just move it on the right hand side. Here you get addition and then the subtraction. So as we want to do the addition, so we'll just double click on that block and just change this minus value to 1 for doing the addition and then click OK. So we'll just join this to input to the summation block and then output. So for outputting we will use the of each. So we will just go to sinks and from sink we will select this of each block. Of each is where you get the output. So we'll just connect the output of this block to this and just connect the clock. So we just go to event handling and select this clock to run the addition operation. So you can select how much time you want to execute this. So you just go to setup and over here you can select how much time you want to run. So whether you want to run this for 30 seconds to 100 seconds, so you will get to know what is the importance of this time as we go. So for current we will just keep as it is and then click OK and just run this. So it will run the simulation and it will just give you the answer of what is the expected addition. So 5 plus 6 is 11. Then to optimize this line, just select all and use Ctrl A to select all the blocks and just press or O. So it will automatically align all the lines in suitable format. Or other way to align the lines is just select that line, right click on this, just go to line style. So from here you can just change the orientation of line, whether you want it horizontal, straight, vertical or optimal. So with O we just done the optimal positions for all this line. Now to perform the negative operation, so just double click on this summation block and again add minus sign to it for doing the subtraction. So I'll just again execute this one and it will give you the subtraction. Then to perform the addition for multiplication and division, so again we will go to mathematical operation Then select this product block and just drag and drop it to the right hand side. Then on here you can see the multiplication sign and the division sign. So as we want to do the multiplication operation, so I'll just double click on this block and then remove this negative sign and click OK. So with this we can do the multiplication operation. So we will again select the same input. So just select this and drop it over here. I need to select this line and paste it over here, and then again touch on this line and select this one. Then we can use the same block from over here as well, or you need to go to these options. So if you want to use the same block, just press the control key and select the block and then drag it. So it will create a separate extra copy of the block. You can get this block with these options, or you can just press the control key, select the block and then drag it to the positions where you want and then just connect it. Make sure you have all these blocks, otherwise it will not run this operation. So again control K and then press O for optimal. Or I will just create a separate block so it will be as the lines are getting totally. So I'll just select this, create an extra copy of this, then again create an extra copy of this, so it will be easier for you to understand. Then again connect these blocks, connect this, connect the output to this. I'll just move it upward, then connect this event handling. So again execute this, it will show you. So the multiplication is 5 into 6 is 30. Then we will do the division. So again double click on this and change this sign to -1 and click OK. Then again execute this file. So it will show me what is the division. So 5 divided by 6, which is 0.8. We have seen how to do the operations in 3 different tabs. So first we have seen all the mathematical operations in console. Then next we have seen that in Synops. And third we have seen in the Xcos. We mostly, for our simulation purpose, we will be using this Xcos tab. So before moving much deeper into Xcos, we will just see how to perform other operations, like how we can find out after doing normal mathematical operations. It will be easier for you. Then next we will calculate the areas of other like square, rectangle, how to do that in this. So I'll just minimize that.